It's one thing to recycle aluminum cans or paper, but what about carpeting? Illinois is considering a proposal to facilitate that, but the effort has wall-to-wall complications. Amanda Vinicky joins us now with more. Amanda.
Yeah, Brenda, as somebody who has spent countless hours on the gorgeous but very hard marble floors of the Illinois State Capitol, I got to tell you, I appreciate a nice lush carpet. Beyond that, and I suppose also, admiring a stylish floor now and again, I haven't really thought much about what carpets are made of. Now, Mike Grady, he's the lobbyist for Partners for Environmental Responsibility. He has.
They're made of plastic. They're all made of different types of polymers. So basically, you've got all those fibers and everything are ultimately made of plastic.
When it's the end of the road for a rug, 99% of the time they go to a landfill, but it doesn't have to be that way. Companies have developed methods to process old carpeting, grinding it down to essentially a pulp so it can be restored to plastic feedstock.
Anything that's made of plastic starts from plastic feedstock, whether it's the bottle you use for your Tide detergent, the bottle you drink your bottled water out of, or anything else that's made of plastic, including the siding on your house or decking for the back of your house. All of those things can be made from the recycled feedstock that comes from carpet.
State Representative Robin Gable is sponsor of a plan that would, roll out the carpet for these companies to come to Illinois to do that recycling work. In a hearing recently, Gable says several have said that they would come to Illinois and in the meanwhile make good use of currently vacant warehouse space and also create a whole lot of jobs if Illinois passes a measure to make it commercially feasible. She says that would be good for the environment too.
The goal of this law is aggressive. It is to achieve a carpet recycling rate in Illinois of 25% by the end of 2026. Achieving this goal means Illinois would reduce its greenhouse gas emission by over 146,560 metric tons of carbon dioxide equivalent each year.
Her Carpet Stewardship Act calls for carpet producers to finance this recycling program. Grady says that it is the responsibility of manufacturers, and if they're paying the tab, he says carpet recycling would come at no cost and no extra inconvenience to customers.
If a carpet installer comes to your house and puts new flooring in, puts new carpet in, and takes the old carpet and padding out, nothing is going to change for the consumer. The installer will then simply just take it to the same landfill or transfer station or wherever else they were taking it before. Only now those places that they took it would be registered as collectors by the state, and they would then make that, and then they would divert on site the carpet away from the rest of the garbage that comes in, and then the recyclers of carpet would come and haul that stuff off so that they can begin breaking it down.
But Illinois Manufacturers Association CEO Mark Denzler says that advocates are trying to pull the carpet wool over consumers' eyes. He says if producers' costs rise, of course that's going to be passed on to customers.
There's no two ways about it. Nothing is free in this world, as you know. And this is especially the time where we're seeing record inflation. We've seen inflation rise at 7.5% over the last 12 months, the highest since 1982. We think it's the wrong time to impose new taxes and fees on consumers who want to put carpet in their homes.
He says that the impact on landfills may not be huge, but it could have a very big impact on both consumers, those costs, but also on jobs, he says, that need to be protected. Illinois doesn't actually have carpet manufacturers, but Denzler says that a whole industry of carpet dealers and installers would feel the pain if carpet sales slide. California has implemented a similar program, and Denzler says that data from there shows that prices went up and carpet sales dropped 30%.
And it's being replaced by floorings that are produced outside the United States. And so this is kind of an anti-American manufacturing bill that's going to force a lot of people to buy cheaper and inferior products that are produced overseas as opposed to carpet that's produced right here in the United States. You have to keep in mind that carpet accounts for less than 2% of all landfill in the United States. but it's very expensive. It's very heavy.
And he says that if carpet is left out, if it gets wet, it can't be reused. All issues, he says, that make carpet recycling complicated. He says that that is among the good reasons that Illinois attempts to institute something like that have stalled in the recent past. Advocates, though, say that Illinois is poised to be a leader in the Midwest in this so-called circular economy, and that legislators should be primed to welcome new manufacturing jobs here versus protecting carpet manufacturers that are largely based in Georgia. With that, back to you, Brandis.
Amanda, thank you.